Good morning. We will talk about the active transport and cell junction. Now, in the last class, we studied about the transport across the plasma membrane, transport across the plasma membrane, in which we discussed about the passive diffusion process. Now, we will talk about the active transport. So, what will be the objective of the active transport? Learnings. So this topic, you could be able to explain the transport of material across the plasma membrane, which type of material can be transported and what will be the process. You can describe the various substance that can be moved in and out of the cell. You can identify the different organelles that is involved in the transportation, and even you can explain the different cell junctions. After studying this chapter, would be able to give you some outcomes that will be learning outcomes. So you can describe the structure and function of the cell membrane, plasma membrane, and its regulation of materials into and out of the cell. You can describe the function of the various cytoplasmic organelles. You can discuss how a substance travels through the cells and the different type of the junctions and how the materials can cross through that junctions. So these will be the learning outcomes. Now come to the points. Active transport process. Yeah, you can say the active process. Active process, yeah, active transport. Some polar or charged solutes that must enter or leave the body cell cannot cross the plasma membrane through any form of passive transport because they would need to move uphill against the concentration gradient. While if you remember in the passive diffusion, there is some still polar and charged solute which can be cross the plasma membrane through the diffusion by the facilitated diffusion. But in active transport, some polar and charged solute who want to leave the cell or who want to enter the cell, जो कुछ सेल के बाहर जाना चाहते हैं या कुछ सेल के अंदर जाना चाहते हैं, वो पोलर और चार्ज सॉल्यूट्स जो हैं वो मूव नहीं कर सकते थ्रू द प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन. तो प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन के थ्रू वो क्रॉस नहीं कर सकते, किसी भी पैसिव ट्रांसपोर्ट के थ्रू क्रॉस नहीं कर सकते. रीजन इज दैट because they have to move against the gravity, against their concentration gradient. So they would need to move uphill against the concentration gradient. So that is the reason the polar and charged solute cannot be crossed through the plasma membrane by the any passive transport process. So such type of the solutes need some special transportation, need some energy to transport against the concentration gradient, against the their gravitational force in the uphill direction. So that for that purpose, we need some energy, and that process is called the active transport process. So active transport is considered an active process because energy is required for the carrier proteins in the active transport is considered an active process. Why it is called active transport? Because it needs the energy for the carrier proteins to move the solute across the plasma membrane against a concentration gradient. Concentration gradient के against जाके कैरियर प्रोटीन प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन के थ्रू इस सॉल्यूट को मूव कर सकता है. उसके लिए एनर्जी चाहिए, एटीपी चाहिए. So that is the reason it is called the active transport. Two sources of cellular energy can be used to drive the active transport. So the two cellular forces, as you can say the cellular sources, cellular energy can be used to drive these type of the active transfer process. One is the energy obtained from hydrolysis of ATP is the source in the primary active transport. एक तो ATP हो गया, obtained from the hydrolysis of ATP. Energy stored in an ionic concentration gradient in the source of secondary active transport. So you can see there the two sources of the cellular energy can be used to drive the active transport process. either for first, which we obtained from the hydrolysis of ATP. With the hydrolysis of ATP, what we get, what we receive the energy, that is the primary active transport, that will help in the primary active transport. And the energy stored in the ionic concentration gradient is the source in the secondary active transport. Now you can see here the sodium potassium pump, like in sodium potassium ATPase, expel the sodium ions and bring the potassium ions into the cell. सोडियम को एक्सपेल करना और पोटेशियम को इनटू कर देना, अंदर कर देना. You can see the structure, sodium concentration, sodium gradient is there, potassium gradient is potassium going to the extracellular fluid, sodium going to the intracellular fluids in the cytosol through the plasma membrane. So these are the sodium potassium ATPase pump which expel the sodium ions. जिसने सोडियम को एक्सपेल कर दिया और सोडियम अंदर आ गया, पोटेशियम को बाहर कर दिया. You can see first, second, third, fourth serial number. First, that is the normal sodium. Second, sodium going to activate with the ATP. Now in the third, it is open and the substance can move inside, and you can in the fourth you can see the potassium is inside. Okay, so 3 sodium are expelled, 2 potassium imported. Secondary active transport mechanism. Antiporter carry 2 substances across the membrane in opposite direction. It is the antiporter. एक आएगा तो एक जाएगा. 2 substances across the plasma membrane in opposite direction. While symporter carry the 2 substances, symporter जो एक साथ symport कर रहा हो, so 2 substances can be moved through the across the plasma membrane in the same direction. So you can see there is a calcium channel. Calcium is going to outside, sodium going to inside. It is the antiporter. एक आएगा एक जाएगा through these plasma membrane, through these channels. You can see there's a symporter. Sodium and glucose both are going to inside. Sodium amino acid both are going to inside. So it is antiporter and symporter. Now, how the transport of material into and out of the cell. So these all things about the passive process, transport of process like passive process, movement of substance down a concentration gradient until equilibrium is reached, do not require the cellular energy in the form of ATP. The diffusion is there. The movement of molecules or ions down a concentration gradient due to their kinetic energy until they reach the equilibrium. Simple diffusion, the passive movement of substance down its concentration gradient through the lipid bilayer of plasma membrane without the help of the membrane transport protein. Then facilitated diffusion, passive movement of substance down its concentration gradient through the lipid bilayer and by the transport proteins that function as the channels or carrier. Then osmosis is there. Osmosis is also a passive movement of water molecules across a selectively permeable membrane from an area of higher water concentration to an area of lower water concentration. Like the facilitated diffusion will diffuse the polar or charged solutes like glucose, fructose, galactose, some vitamins, ions, potassium, chloride, sodium, calcium. So these are diffused through the facilitated diffusion, while osmosis will help only in the solvent, water in the living system. Simple diffusion, in the simple diffusion, non-polar, hydrophobic solutes, oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen gases, fatty acid, steroid, fat, soluble vitamins, these can be diffused. Polar molecules such as the water, urea, and small alcohol at a little bit amount. Now the active process. In active process, movement of substance against a concentration gradient requires a cellular energy in the form of ATP. We have seen it. Active process in which a cell expends energy to move substance across the plasma membrane against its concentration gradient by the transmembrane protein that function as a carrier. So active transport process में plasma membrane के through transport करना है और help कौन कर रहे हैं? Transport channels. Polar or charged solutes is substance that can be go through the active transport. Then primary active transport will be there. The active process in which a substance move across the plasma membrane against its concentration gradient by the pump या carrier that use energy supplied by the hydrolysis of ATP. So ATP का hydrolysis होता है, एनर्जी रिक्वायर्ड निकलती है और उस एनर्जी से ट्रांसपोर्टेशन होते हैं, जैसे सोडियम, पोटेशियम, कैल्शियम, हाइड्रोजन, आयोडाइड, क्लोराइड एंड अदर आयंस. Secondary active transport, coupled active transport of two substance, coupled active transport of two substance across the membrane using energy supplied by sodium or hydrogen concentration gradient maintained by primary active transport pump. जो आयन है, जो जिन्होंने स्टोर किया हुआ है कुछ एनर्जी, उसके थ्रू जो ट्रांसपोर्ट हो रहे हैं, लाइक एंटी पोर्टर एंड सिम पोर्टर आर द सेकेंडरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट. देन ट्रांसपोर्ट इन वेसिकल्स, active process in which the substance move in out of the cell vesicles that bound the plasma membrane require the energy supplied by the ATP. I told you earlier in the class, in the passive classes, endocytosis and exocytosis will be there. So endocytosis is the movement of substance into the cell in a vesicles. It could be receptor mediated endocytosis. Ligand receptor complexes the trigger enfolding of a clarithin coated pit that form a vesicles containing ligands. Phagocytosis is there, a cell eating movement of a solid particles into the cell after the pseudopods and engulf to form a phagosomes. Bulk phase endocytosis will be there. Exocytosis will be there, that will movement of the substance of a cell in a secretory vesicle that fuse with the plasma membrane and release the content in the extracellular fluids, जो cells को cell से बाहर निकाल देती है. Then transcytosis will be there, movement of substance through a cell as a result of the endocytosis on one side and exocytosis on the opposite side. So that will be the transcytosis. After this active transport and passive transport process, another topic we have the cell junction. Now, as the name indicate, cell and junction, that means where cells are, more than one cells are combined. So most epithelial cell and some muscles and nerve cells are tightly joined into the functional unit. So it could be functional at a single unit. It could be epithelial cell, muscular cell, nerval cells, connective tissue. So these are the four types of the tissue we know. So these tissue that is grouped of the cell, now they are the different cell. It could be smooth muscle cell, it could be epithelial cell, it could be nerve cell that are connected to each other and functionalized at a special unit. So cell junction are contact points between the plasma membrane. So cell के जो plasma membrane है उनके contact points हैं cell junction. Here we consider the 5 most important cell junction: tight junction, adhere junction, desmosome, hemidesmosome और gap junction. एक टाइट जंक्शन हो जाएंगे, एक अडेरेंस जंक्शन हो जाएंगे, एक डेस्मोसोम्स हो जाएंगे, हेमिडेस्मोसोम और गैप जंक्शन. सो दीज आर द 5 सेल जंक्शन. दैट मींस द प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन आर गोना टू combined or at a particular point they are gonna to joint. Okay, so they are gonna to contact, that will be form a cell junction. So these are the 5 junctions. Now first junction is called the tight junction. Tight junction consists of a wave-like strands of transmembrane proteins that fuse the outer surface of adjacent plasma membrane together to seal off the passageway between the adjacent cell. Tight junction क्या करेंगे? It will consist of wave-like structure. इनका एक wave-like structure हो जाएगा, एक network जो spider waves होते हैं. Okay, so इस spider wave-like structure बनाएंगे. That will be the transmembrane proteins होंगे जो नियर प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन्स होंगे, जो नियर सेल्स होंगे, जो नियर बाई सेल्स हैं, उनकी जो प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन है उनसे फ्यूज हो जाएंगे, उनसे अटैच हो जाएंगे एंड टुगेदर दे सील ऑफ द पासेज वे. और फिर वो क्या करेंगे, जो पासेज है बिटवीन द टू सेल उसे सील कर देंगे. सो टाइट जंक्शन इज द जंक्शन बिटवीन द टू सेल्स. दो सेल्स होंगी, वी नो द टू सेल्स, if there is a two cells there is a gap between the two cells. If the two cells are come to the close, even there is a some waters or some materials, some ions, some substance can be diffused through it. But when the transmembrane protein of one cell is going to fuse with the outer plasma membrane of the another cell, So the passageway between adjacent cell will be closed. The cell of epithelial tissue that line the stomach, intestine, urinary bladder, GIT have many tight junction. So these are the epithelial cells which have the tight junction and to retard the passage of substance. So that is the reason the diffusion will not go very easily in these, because these are the tight junctions. So the water cannot leak these cells. Otherwise क्या होता? Stomach, in the stomach there is a acid, there is a food. If there is a no tight junction, then this acid, then this food, and then this fluids will go into the cell directly. So that is the reason these cells having the tight junction. So have many these organs, like stomach, intestines, bladder, have many tight junctions to retard the passage of substance between the cell and prevent the content of these organs from leaking into the blood or surrounding tissue. So जिसके कारण अगर लीकेज नहीं होगा तो these fluids substance cannot be goes to the blood or surrounding tissue. So that is a tight junction. Now you can see here adjacent plasma membrane is there, intercellular space is there, strand of transmembrane proteins. Now दो cells हैं, दोनों की plasma membranes हैं, plasma membrane having the transmembrane protein. So these transmembrane proteins are going to fuse with the plasma membrane of the another, and they are going to make a tight junction. So the fluid cannot be goes through these junction. Adherence junction. Adherence means to stick, chapakna. Adherence junction contain the plaque, a dense layer of protein on the inside of the plasma membrane that attach both to the membrane protein and to microfilament of the cytoskeleton. So in this adherence junction, a dense layer of the proteins on the inside of the plasma membrane पे जो proteins हैं, that will attach both to the membrane proteins and to the microfilament of the cytoskeleton. So transmembrane glycoprotein that will called cadherin joins the cell, and each cadherin insert into the plug from the opposite side of the plasma membrane partially crosses the intercellular space and connect to cadherins of an adjacent cell. Now you can see in the images I will show you, in the epithelial cells, adherence junction often form extensive zones called adhesion belt because they encircle the cell similar to the way a belt encircle your vest. It seems like when you encircle the belt on your vest and make it tight, same things happen inside in this adhesion junction. Adhesion junction help the epithelial surface resist separation during the various contractile activity when food moves through the intestine. So you know, in the muscles, in the cells, there is a contraction, there is a movement. So this type of the junctions will resist these separation. Like you can see here, there is the adjacent plasma membrane is there, microfilament actin is there, plaque is there, transmembrane glycoprotein is there, cadherins, and intercellular space. So these are gonna to bind like a belt and form a cadherin. That will be the transmembrane glycoprotein. So these cadherin are going to stick and act like a bait. So these are the adhesion junction. Third is the desmosome. It's like the adherence junction. Desmosome contains the plug and have a transmembrane glycoprotein cadherin that extend into the intercellular space between the adjacent cell membrane and attached cell to one another. However, unlike the adherence junction, the plaque of desmosome does not attach to the microfilament. So the difference between the cadherins and desmosome, that the desmosomes does not attach to the microfilaments of the cytoskeleton. Instead, a desmosome plaque attaches to the element of the cytoskeleton known as intermediate filaments that consist of the protein keratin. The intermediate filament extend from desmosome on one side of the cell across the cytosol to desmosomes on the opposite side of the cell. So this structural arrangement contribute to the stability of the cell and tissue. These spots, well like a junction, are common among the cells that make up the epidermis, among the cardiac muscle cell in the heart. So desmosome prevent the epidermal cells from the separating under tension and cardiac muscle cells from pulling apart during the contraction. So when there is a contraction will occur, So these layer cannot pull apart, ये अलग नहीं होंगे. So desmosome prevent the epidermal cells from separating under tension. जब इनमें दबाव पड़ेगा, जब किसी तरह की टेंशन पड़ती है, तो डेस्मोसोम क्या करते हैं, प्रिवेंट करते हैं इस प्रॉपर्टी को. डेस्मोसोम इज गिव अ प्रॉपर्टी सो दिस कैन नॉट बी सेपरेट, because in the cardiac muscle, you know, cardiac heart is going to pump the bloods, so it's contraction heart. So desmosome prevent these type of the epidermal cells from separating under the tension. You can see the structure. Adjacent plasma membrane is there, intercellular space there, plaque is there, transmembrane glycoprotein is there, and intermediate filament keratin is there. That is the desmosome. Let me clear once again about the adherence junction and desmosome junction. I hope you got a point about the tight junctions, because it's a very easy tight junction. Okay, because in these cases the transmembrane protein of the one plasma membrane is going to tightly joint with the another plasma membrane of the cells. Okay, and close the passes. So that is the tight junction present in the stomach, intestine, bladder. So the foods and the fluids will cannot leak into the blood. Adherence junctions contains a plaque. इसमें plaque होंगे. Okay, plaque structure you have already seen. जो एक dense layer का proteins होगा on the inside of the plasma membrane that attach both to the membrane proteins and microfilament of the cytoskeleton. जो सेल के जो cytoskeletons होंगे, जो microfilaments हो जाएंगे, उनसे attached करने में help करेंगे. So this transmembrane protein is called cadherins. Okay, and each cadherins, और हर एक cadherins क्या करती है, insert होती है into the plugs में from the opposite side of the plasma membrane. So opposite side of the plasma membrane, it will insert into the cadherin and attached. So partially crosses the intercellular space and connect to the cadherins of an adjacent cell. So it will form a belt-like structure. So when there is any contractile activity will happen, these two cells will cannot be separate like this. In desmosome, same structure like the adjacent, adherence junction. Only the difference is desmosome does not attach to the microfilament. Microfilaments attached नहीं होते हैं. And instead, a desmosome plaque attached to the element of cytoskeleton. Microfilaments attach होने की जगह किससे attach हो जाएंगे? एक cytoskeleton के element से, which called the intermediate filament, जिसमें keratins proteins होंगे. Okay, so in desmosomes, these plaque will attaches to the keratin proteins. So this intermediate filament extend from desmosome on one side of the cells across the cytosol to desmosomes on the opposite side of the cell. So this structural arrangement contribute the ability of the cell and tissue, and these spot web-like junctions are common among the cells. So like this structure will be there. Now fourth is the hemidesmosome. Hemi means half. So desmosome का half हो जाएगा. Hemidesmosomes resembles the desmosome, but they do not link the adjacent cell. The name arises from the fact that they look like half of desmosome. ये डेस्मोसोम की तरह दिखते हैं, ये हाफ डेस्मोसोम की तरह दिखते हैं, इसीलिए इसको हेमीडेस्मोसोम कहते हैं. बट इनका डेस्मोसोम से कोई लेना देना नहीं होगा, ये वैसे रिजेंबल्स नहीं है, उनके जैसे नहीं है. दे डू नॉट लिंक विद द एडजेसेंट सेल, ये नेवर सेल से एडजेसेंट नहीं करते हैं. However, the transmembrane glycoprotein in the hemidesmosomes are integrins rather than cadherins. Desmosomes में क्या था? Cadherins. Hemidesmosomes में क्या है? Integrin. Sorry, मतलब that means I'm talking about the adjacent junction. Adjacent junctions में cadherins थे. Then desmosome junctions में you have seen there is a keratin proteins थे. Just like you can see, desmosomes are keratin proteins. And in the hemidesmosomes, glycoproteins are the integrins. On one side of the plasma membrane, integrin attaches to the intermediate filaments made up of the protein keratin, जो keratin से बने हैं. So on the outside of the plasma membrane, the integrins attached to the protein laminin. So जो intermediate हैं, जो inside हैं plasma membrane के, उसमें keratins हैं, जो outside हैं उसमें laminin हैं, जिनसे ये attach हो जाते हैं. So hemidesmosomes anchor the cells not to each other but to the basement membrane. You can see there. Intermediate filament keratin is there, plaque is there, basement membrane, plasma membrane, and the transmembrane glycoprotein integrin in the extracellular space. Gap junction. The fifth junction is called the gap junction. At gap junction, membrane proteins called connexins form a teeny fluid-filled tunnels called the connexons and connect the neighboring cells. तो ये connexons हैं जो neighboring cells से connect हो जाते हैं. And the plasma membrane of gap junction are not fused together as in tight junction but are separated by a very narrow intercellular gap, जिसको small space होते हैं. Through the connexons, ion and small molecules can diffuse from cytosol of one cell to the another. So these connexons के कारण जो connexons हैं, जो small tunnels हैं, इनके थ्रू जो ions हैं, जो small molecules हैं, ये क्या कर सकते हैं? Diffuse कर सकते हैं from cytosol to the another cell. So the transfer of nutrients, perhaps the waste, take place through the gap junction in a avascular tissue such as the lens and cornea of the eye. गैप जंक्शन अलाउ द सेल इन अ टिश्यू टू कम्युनिकेट विथ वन अनदर. जो गैप जंक्शंस होते हैं ये अलाउ करते हैं क्या सेल को टू कम्युनिकेट विथ वन अनदर, बिकॉज वी नो दिस इज द कम्युनिकेशन. In a developing embryo, some of the chemical and electrical signals that regulate the growth and cell differentiation travel via gap junction. Gap junctions also enable the nerve or muscle impulses to spread rapidly among the cells, a process that is crucial for the normal operation of some parts of the nervous system and for the contraction of muscle in the heart, gastrointestinal tract, and uterus. Like each gap junction, we have additional plasma membrane, connexon composed of connexins as small tunnels-like structures, and gap between the cells. So the fluid substance can be moved and can be diffused. Now you can see once inside the one cell, how can these 5 junctions will be composed. Like you can see the E first, the tight junction will be there. You can see in the image E, that is the tight junctions. Okay. Then you can see there's a D, that will be the adherence junction. Then you can see there is a desmosomes, then D, hemidesmosomes, and then E, that is the gap junction. Now after the gap junction, after the junction, there will be a topic that will be called the cell communication. Communication between the cell requires. That means cell can communicate. Cell can communicate between each other. But how can they communicate? Can they talk like us? No, they can be talk by the some fluids, by the some ions, by the some signals, by the some transmissions. So there is some terms like the ligand is there. Ligand is a signaling molecules that is able to bind with the receptor. Receptor protein are the molecules to which the receptor binds. So receptor protein are those molecules to which the receptor binds, maybe on the plasma membrane or within the cell. You can see here, these are the external environment, these are the cytoplasm, and these are the plasma membrane. So it is a hydrophobic ligands. If it is a hydrophobic ligands, means the ligands who is the hydrophobic. Hydro means water and phobic means fear. So water fear. Water fear, that means it will be love to the lipids. So lipid loving. So it can easily diffuse through the plasma membrane and goes into the cytoplasm. Another is the hydrophilic ligand. Hydrophilic ligand is water loving. So it will be the you can say not a lipophilic. Okay, lipophobic. So yes, it needs a carrier, a transmembrane protein, so which act as a carrier and take these ligands to bind to the receptor and goes inside the cytoplasm. So when the hydrophobic ligands diffuses through the plasma membrane and bind with the intercellular receptor, it having some signal transducing pathway and produce some action. Similarly, hydrophobic ligands goes through these receptor and producing signal transduction pathway, and then cellular response will be produced. So these are act like a communication. So there are 5 basic mechanisms for the cellular communication. First is the direct contact, paracrine and autocrine signaling, endocrine signaling. Direct contact, as we've seen, paracrine and autocrine signaling and endocrine signaling, talking about the hormones, and synaptic signaling is there, and the local hormones that act on the neighboring cell. Synaptic signaling is the you can say the local hormone that is called the paracrine. Paracrine and autocrine are the local hormones that act on the neighboring cells are called the paracrine. Para means nearby. And those act on the same cell that secreted them are called the autocrine. Auto means self. So autocrine secretion are those secretion who released by some cells and acting on the same cell. paracrine who's releasing by some cells and acting on the neighboring cells. So these are the signaling mechanism. One, direct contact, second paracrine, third autocrine, fourth endocrine, and fifth is the synaptic signaling. Because you can see in the serial number second, paracrine and autocrine, these are two communication mechanisms. So that is the reason it is a 5 mechanism. Now you can see this is the structure A, that is the direct contact. That means there is a signaling cells and target cells, so molecules will directly goes to bind to the target cell and produce the action. In the B, paracrine, in the paracrine, para means nearby. So when the signaling cell will release some local hormones, and these hormones goes and bind with the nearby cells, and then they will produce the response. So it is a paracrine. See, you can see there is a synaptic signaling. That means neurons or cell bodies is going to produce some signals. These signals goes at a synaptic cleft by the neurotransmitter. Then this transmitter goes to bind with the receptor of the targeted cell and produce the action. D, endocrine. That means cell will release the hormone, and these hormone will goes into the blood and then produces the action by targeting with the receptor. And last is the autocrine. That means cell releasing the hormones, and that hormone act on the same cell. So these are the 5 way of communication. When a ligand bind to a receptor protein, the call has a response. Signal transduction, the event within the cell that occur in response to a signal. A different cell types can respond differently to the same signal, because we know physiology is different. So for the same signal, if different cell is there, so they can respond different. A cell response to a signal often involves the activating or inactivating the proteins. Phosphorylation is a common way to change the activity of protein. Protein kinase, an enzyme that adds a phosphate to a protein. Phosphatase, an enzyme that remove a phosphate from a protein. So if there is a protein kinase which add a phosphate to a protein, जो protein में phosphate को add कर देंगे. Okay. Phosphatase, which will remove the phosphate from a protein. So there are 3 stages of signal transduction. Reception of extracellular signal by the cell, cell signal receive करेगी. Transduction of signal from outside of cell to the inside of the cell, often multi-stepped. And cellular response, then cell will produce the response and action. So response is initiated or occurs entirely within the receiving cells. So you can see the reception is there, transduction is there, and the response is there. That is called the signal transduction or signal communications. You can see there is the extracellular fluid. There will be a receptor and the molecules is there. Any substance, any ligand will be there. So these ligands goes and bind with the receptor. Now receptor will activate it, present on the plasma membrane, and producing some signals. So these signal goes through the transduction pathway and reaches to the active cell. When the cell will receive these signals, then the activation of the cellular response will be produced. Same way here, reception, then transduction, the signal molecules bind to the receptor. You can see here, G protein coupled receptor is here, yeah, ion channel receptor is here, where the molecules are going to bind, and then they will activate the receptor. Then transduction will start. Then changes in the membrane permeability create electrical signals, voltage sensitive proteins, and then last cellular response will be there. Response usually involve increasing or decreasing the some protein function. So by the phosphorylation, it will produce some responses. Now these is present inside the cell. Cell surface receptor or membrane receptor located on the plasma membrane to bind a ligand outside the cell. So there are the 3 subclass of the membrane receptor. One, channel linked receptor, ion channel that opens in the response to a ligand. Enzymatic receptor, which receptor an enzyme that is activated by the ligands. So channel linked receptor are those receptor like the ion channels that open in response to a ligand. So when a ligand come and bind, then the receptor will open. Okay. Then the channels will be opened. Enzymatic receptor. So receptor is an enzyme that is activated by the ligand. So when ligand comes, that this enzyme will be activated. G protein coupled receptor. is like the assisting in transmitting a signals. So after this communication, we have the some quiz here, like the we can go through the quiz. Now the question number first: different type of capillaries are distinguished by their structure. We know there's a different type of the capillaries which are different. We can tell the difference between these capillary according to their structure. So which of the following is not a structural difference between the capillaries? कौन सा structural difference नहीं है? Endothelial cell of the some capillaries are joined by tight junction, while others are gap between the cells. Endothelial cells. B. Some capillaries have poor pores. Some capillary have pores that allow the movement between the plasma and interstitial fluids. No. Some capillaries have an arterial end and a venous end, while others begin in the tissue and drain into venules. Yes, C is correct. Some capillaries have an arterial end and a venous end. So if capillaries goes further, it will see there will be artery or venous, while others begin in the tissue and drain into the venules. So C is correct. Then you will see next question, which statement about the plasma membrane is incorrect? Which statement about the plasma membrane? It is selectively permeable. Is plasma membrane is selectively permeable? That means plasma membrane is just selective for the transportation of the materials. It is composed of two layers of glycoprotein molecules. It contains the receptor for specific signaling molecules. The plasma membrane of adjacent cells are held together by desmosome. Answer B is correct. It is composed of two layers of glycoprotein molecules. Next question. Which of the following is not one of the organelles within a cell? Which of the following is not one of the organelles within the cell? इसमें से कौन सा ऐसा है जो सेल का organelles नहीं है? Desmosome, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus. So we know endoplasmic reticulum is a organelles present inside the cell. Mitochondria is also organelles. Golgi apparatus is also organelles, but desmosome is not a organelles. So yes, answer A is correct. Which of the following enables the ions such as sodium to cross the plasma membrane? So now there's the following four and listed number is there. So which one is enables the ion like the sodium to cross the plasma membrane? Phospholipid bilayer, peripheral proteins, integral proteins, or desmosome? So yes, it will be the integral proteins. Okay, that will facilitate the diffusion. Or you can say it will be the carrier or it will be the active transport process. So yes, answer C is correct, integral proteins. Next question, active transport across the plasma membrane may be described by which statement? Active transport across the plasma membrane may be described by which statement? The active transport requires energy from ATP. Active transport is also known as endocytosis. Active transport moves molecules along their concentration gradient. Active transport is the movement of the lipid soluble molecules through the plasma membrane. So which one is right? We know the active transport requires the energy from the ATP. So yes, answer A is correct. Next question. What are the capillaries that have endothelial cell joined by tight junction? So what are those capillaries that have the endothelial cells that will joined by the tight junction? It have the endothelials, it have the intercellular cleft between cell and called. So what are those capillaries that have endothelial cells and that is joined by the tight junctions and have an intercellular cleft? Blood-brain barrier, continuous capillaries, and the fenestrated capillaries or sinusoid. So yes, continuous capillaries there. So answer B is correct. The process of active transport through a membrane may be described by which of the following? There will be active transport. So which is correct? So we know the use of energy from ATP to move ions and small molecules against their concentration gradient. Yes, we require the energy by the hydrolysis of ATP. So yes, answer D is correct. Now, next question, which of the following molecules cannot pass through the plasma membrane? So which of the following molecules here you can see that, and it cannot be passes through the plasma membrane? Water molecules, non-polar molecules, amino acid based hormones and fat soluble molecules. So अगर कोई प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन है तो उसके थ्रू क्या पास नहीं कर सकता? वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स, नॉन पोलर मॉलिक्यूल्स, amino acid based hormone. Yes, answer C is correct. What is the name of the mechanism that ensure that there is a higher concentration of sodium ion in the extracellular fluid than in the intracellular fluid? What is the name of the mechanism? Which type of the diffusion is there? Or you can say, what is the name of that particular carrier proteins? Or you can say what the name of particular channels that ensure there is a higher concentration of sodium ions in the extracellular fluids than in the intracellular fluid. Facilitated diffusion, sodium potassium pump, secondary active transport, or osmosis. So yes, sodium potassium pump will be responsible for to ensure that the higher concentration of sodium ions in the extracellular fluid than in the intracellular fluids. Now these are the reference book. You have go through the reference book like the Tartora, Principal Anatomy Physiology, Bell Melindas, and the Robinson Cartrons. Okay. So in the so thank you. But let me remind you once again. Today we have learned about the active transport process. So active transport process is going to be divided into the primary or secondary active transport. We know depending upon the requirement of the energy, requirement of the ATP. Okay. So if there will be a ATP formation is there, because we know the mitochondria is the powerhouse, will produce the energy by releasing of the ATP. So in this case, the first primary active transport, that is by the hydrolysis of ATP. ATP का hydrolysis होने से energy required होती है, निकलती है, release होती है. So that will help in the active transporters. Why we need the energy in the active transportation? Because we have to move against the concentration gradient. हमें move कहाँ करना है? Against the concentration gradient and uphill directions. ठीक है? Just like I told you, when we want to throw a ball in a sky, we need energy. But when we want to drop a ball from the sky, we don't need energy. Why? Because when we drop a ball from the sky onto the earth, the balls which comes on the ground through the kinetic energy, like the passive diffusion, and also it goes towards the gravity. So there is no need of such type of any type of energy. So that will be the passive diffusion. But when we throw a ball on the sky, it will goes against the gravity, like against the concentration gradient. So yes, throwing the ball in the sky needs energy. You have to pull the ball in the sky, so you have to put the pressure on the balls. So yes, that will require the active transport process. So active transport process में हमें energy चाहिए और passive transport process में हमें energy नहीं चाहिए. Passive transport process में it depends upon the simple diffusion, facilitated diffusion or diffusions. But in the active transport में it could be either primary transport or secondary transport. Primary transport में ATP का hydrolysis हो गया, released होगी energy, और that will be causes the transport of materials, transport of substance through the plasma membrane by the channels. But in the secondary transport substance will be passes through the antiporter or symporter. Antiporter, that means they are moving one ion inside and one ion outside. Okay, so inside cell and outside of the cell they are transporting the same way simultaneously. So that is called the antiporter. While symporter, they are moving the two ions, two substance, two molecules in the same direction. Either they can move in or they can move out. Okay, so that will be the same direction. So that will be the transport. And after that, we studied about the junction. So we heard there is a 5 junctions, like the different cell junction is the 5 junction is there, tight junction is there, then After tight junction, second one will be the adherence junction, then desmosome, hemidesmosome, or gap junction. Then after these gap junction, we learn about the communication of the cells, how the cell will communicate. So we see there's a different communication, like the direct communication. They can direct communicate by binding the ligands. They can communicate by autocrine. That means when autocrine is means when we'll release the hormones, when release the secretion, and that will act on so same cell. So autocrine is secretion is there. Paracrine is there. Paracrine means nearby cells. Para means nearby. So paracrine, through the paracrine secretion, they will release the secretion, and that secretion will target it to the never cells. So through the never cell, they can contact, communicate. So that is the paracrine. So direct contact is there, direct communication, autocrine communication, paracrine communication, and one is the endocrine communication and synaptic communication. Endocrine communication, in endocrine communication, hormones will be released, and these hormone will goes into the bloodstream, and from bloodstream it will be goes to the specific cell, and the cell will respond and cell will communicate. And the last one was the you can say that is the synaptic communication. So synaptic communication means when the neurotransmitter or hormones or will be released, it will reaches at the junction, or you can say at the gap, not a junction, it's a gap between the cells. So that will be a synapse. So at from where it will binding with the receptor of the cell and then produce the action. So that will be the synaptic communication. So yes, so these three topics we studied today. So thank you for patience listening. Now we will meet again in the next class with some new topic. Till then, thank you.